Amazing. We are live. Guys,
Yeah.
hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
Norbert, Alex, thanks so much for joining and for beginning this great venture on PitchGround. I always love these first webinars because it's so many new things, like for me, for you, for whole PitchGround community, because I mean, almost nobody knows what to expect. I mean, we just told the community that SyncSpider is that Zapier-like platform we are launching just 2 hours ago. And Norbert, tell me what happened in these 2 hours, because some users from PitchGround were already quite curious about it, weren't they?
Yeah. They found the sign-up link that is currently hidden, and we have already several trial sign-ups. We have a lot of requests of people who want to join the platform and get access. We have tons of chat requests on our website, so please excuse that we currently can't not respond that fast. We're on a webinar, but we will be there and we will answer all your questions. Just drop your email and yeah, everything will be covered. Really cool.
All right, that's amazing. So Norbert, Alex, let me introduce this whole concept to our PitchGround community. So everybody, we will be doing a lot of webinars just like this, but not day after day like we usually do. But we'll be doing it. I will tell you the exact days in the end of this webinar. And today here with us is Norbert, the CEO and founder. Woo!
Hi, I'm here. I followed a lot of the conversations already in the past when you pitched a bit about the product. It was so great and amazing to read. So happy to be with you, really.
Yeah. And Alex, the company's COO and head of growth, is it right?
Yep. Happy to be here and looking forward to all chats.
All right, me too. Okay, so everybody, for everybody who is joining, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to leave all the comments below. We will be answering them. We will be talking to you. If you have any questions whatsoever, what we can release, for example, pricing, we cannot talk about it yet. But if you have questions about integrations and so on, right now it's a good time to do it. So please feel free to comment down below in the video, either on Zoom or on Facebook. Both are fine. So that's about it, guys. And I think we can jump into a really short introduction. So today we are talking about integrations in general, how to automate apps. But before we'll do it, tell me about you. How did you guys meet? How did it all start? How did SyncSpider saw the light of the world for the first time?
Yeah, sure. So I own an online marketing agency here in Austria, and our main focus was to build e-commerce stores for clients. And the thing was that every client that we did a store for asked us to build some kind of integration, mostly to ERP software or marketplaces or whatever. So we needed to find some kind of solution to do that. In a more in a more structured way,
Yes.
to have one tool with which we could do this. And this was the first step actually for SyncSpider. So we did this. It was several years, and we had our own framework, and we said, well, it would be cool to build out the framework into some kind of tool that is Zapier-like, but for e-commerce. And when we had that, it turned out that, well, we also could connect web apps. So this is how then SyncSpider started to do integrations with web apps as well. And we have now a very stable and universal core system that allows us to integrate tools very quickly. And we also have our own API, so others can also start integrating their apps with us. So this is where we currently are.
That's interesting. I see so many people are joining. Hello Amit, hello Diane, hello Herms, hello Jarek, hello Sasang. So many of you here. Thanks a lot. So basically, you started as a marketing agency, and you were just trying to solve your own problem, just connecting multiple tools together, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Are you still working like on your marketing agency, or is this like your sole purpose, building SyncSpider?
So I still have the online marketing agency, but the company is we currently have around about 25 people in the whole teams. So it's separated into different teams. I'm mostly on the tools. So I'm mostly starting to manage the tools, doing the webinars, trainings, talking with customers, improving everything. And the online marketing agency, there's my partner who is managing the marketing team, and this is, yeah, we are helping each other with that, because we have, of course, a cool team that is doing the marketing for our products, and on the other hand, the team has cool products to do automations.
Okay. So Alex, your exact role in this, can you describe it? What exactly you do in SyncSpider?
Well, connecting all the dots, as Norbert said, in the core company, so you have a lot of clients, and clients are important. You need to give them all your respect and everything. So we needed, or SyncSpider needed, a guy who will solely be on purpose for this one tool, so to make it better, only there for the users and everything. So this is my main connection here with SyncSpider, while Norbert is a bit above, overseeing everything that it says, doing webinars and
Of course.
making the app better.
All right, guys, I see more and more people are joining on Facebook. Hello, everybody. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask us in the comments about integrations, about SyncSpider. We are here today for the first time. We'll be going live for 5 more times with these guys, so stay tuned. Now, Norbert, I would ask you, you prepared some really good presentation about what SyncSpider is, what you guys do, and what can actually people expect by using SyncSpider. So I would like to ask you to, if you could share your screen, and we'll jump and discuss about that.
Sure, absolutely. One moment. So here we go. I hope you have enough time. So the next 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
3 to 4 hours to 6 maximum should be fine.
Should be fine. Great. So everything is prepared. So SyncSpider, as I told you already, we started out as an e-commerce middleware. So we call this ourselves the universal e-commerce middleware. And after some time, it turned out that e-commerce is not the only thing that we can connect, because the core was so flexible that we could start to integrate any kind of tool. It doesn't matter. We integrated local ERP software, help desk software, whatever the customer needed was integrated. And this is why SyncSpider really is a universal e-commerce and web apps middleware. So you really can connect different kind of tools with each other. And if you see some numbers, why this is really needed, there are really a tons of software providers out there, thousands of software and cloud providers, over 200 shopping cart solutions so far on the market, and there are really hundreds of marketplaces and portals. So even pricing portals or insurance comparison portals or car portals. So there's really a lot of tools that allow you to send data or get data from. And if you count them all together, you really have millions of possible connections on how you could do some automation of different kind of tools. And the current situation that we had and that our clients had was they needed to sync. Yeah? They needed to have something in sync. And to do that, you either can go and do copy pasting. So you get data from A and paste it to B, which is very time consuming, or you need to build costly individual integrations to solve your request. So it's really expensive. When we did this in the past for our customers, such an e-commerce integration is $5,000 to $10,000 to just have a one-way sync from, let's say, local ERP to the web shop or whatever you need. So also for web apps, it's the same. It's really, really costly. And if it comes to any tools that you might use and install your own, like WordPress or Magento or whatever, you can use plugins. So for every need, there is a plugin. But what you will do when you install a plugin is you increase the complexity of your software. So you increase you have not this good performance anymore. You need to update and maintain the plugin. You are relying to a third-party provider that might be away, and then it will interfere with your whole system. So we will have always a problem when it comes to updates or when you need to renew or patch something. So all these three options are not really a good way to do synchronization or automation of tasks for your daily business. So we wanted to find a solution that makes it really, really easy to synchronize data. So an easy centered solution, no matter which e-commerce solution you're using, no matter which web apps you're using, you can connect all your channels and put your tasks on autopilot. So who is using SyncSpider? For whom did we build that? It's mainly for ERP providers and webshop systems, so they can connect once and use all our integrations for all their projects from one single dashboard. It's built for agencies that want to fulfill the client needs faster, to be more flexible.
Yes.
Automations faster. So this is also something, if you are an agency doing online marketing, getting leads to forms, you need to put those leads somewhere in a CRM, email automation, a newsletter software, Google Sheets, whatever you need. It needs to be done fast. The clients don't want to pay much for it. So you need to have a fast, reliable, and also a cheap way to automate things. And of course, for web app users and store owners. So people that are using web apps on a daily basis can connect all their outlets with one single tool. And this is what SyncSpider is.
Norbert, we have a question, and I think right now it's the best time to ask. Diane is asking if it's there a two-way sync.
Yeah.
All right, that was fast answer.
Yeah. The two-way sync is solved by adding two tasks. We can discuss it in a later webinar, and we can note this down to make even concrete use cases. But we have set up things already two-way. It depends a bit on the system. Some systems allows to update data. Some systems don't allow this. So it depends a bit on the system, but it is really two ways in two different tasks. So we
yes, and for everybody who is watching, we will be showing some live examples how you can create integrations with SyncSpider after this presentation. So stick around, you will see SyncSpider in action really soon.
Yeah. So, and who we are, it's also always important that you know who is behind that product. We are really an experienced team with a lot of e-commerce knowledge. This is where we come from. We work with great partners. So we have marketplaces that fully rely on us, like Shopping, for instance, which is the #1 marketplace here in Austria, and a lot of retailers and e-commerce store owners list their products there, and they rely on our technology, as well as a lot of agencies. You will see here from the clients some logos that are mostly local companies here in Austria and Germany, but big ones. So and they are using SyncSpider on the daily purpose. And we have good connections also in the SaaS network. So we have already tools that reached out to us and did their own integration with us, so they can use SyncSpider to fulfill the synchronization needs of their user base, which is really a very interesting way. So we have a very flexible API that is totally universal, so every developer can easily integrate their app with us, and of course we still do integrations every day. So, and
Norbert, tell me, how are you building this this big team, which I see is almost completely remote?
Yeah, absolutely. So how we did this? Well, we started off with a small project. Our CTO is Costa, the nice guy with the glasses, from Serbia, and and we step by step increased the team. So all team members that you see here, except the design and growth and marketing team, are really dedicated to ThinkSpider only. So Costa, Voin, Predak, and Rickards are the core developers that
Yes.
are frequently maintaining the software. There are even more developers that are shared with the other team that we have. So in total, I said, around about 20-25 people that are always fully dedicated to the whole company. And yeah, and my partner Michael, who is the co-founder of the software, is a web store owner, big web store here in Austria, and he wanted us to build that out, and we said, well, why don't we just make a product together with that? So
Yes.
he might join in another webinar, but he's more or less the financial investor.
I see. The guy in the back.
The guy in the back.
Master
exactly.
of puppets.
So, yeah. Exactly.
I see. Guys, you're asking a lot of questions. I'm noting them all, and I will be answering them after this presentation, which will be just a couple more minutes.
Yeah, just 3 more hours, then we are.
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
So,
I think around something like that.
And I've seen a lot that that the thing that we are still a beta product. This is true for the Webapp part, because the Webapp part really is new, and we build it out because we know how it works for e-commerce. But we are already listed on marketplaces, so we are already up and selling, and we have clients mostly in the e-commerce world, and we are on WooCommerce, Marketplace, Magento, and Lightspeed. Currently working on getting listed on Shopify, Presta, and Shopware, and of course we are in the Austrian shopping marketplace as well. So you might see us there. You can use and install the plugins, and yeah, use them in your system.
Norbert, question. See Amazon European Union integration. Will Amazon Seller Central be integrated in future?
Absolutely. So we are already working on the integration. It's not a small thing, but it should be ready within this month. So we are already in the last processes where we get reviewed and where we get green lights that it's being listed. So it was a long process for European Union, and I think that US will be by the end of the month we're live. So we are already quite far with the Amazon team, and we know already that we will get approved soon. So that's
guys, and that's one of the really good parts about LTDs, because in the upcoming weeks, all the people will have the option to like give you suggestions on the integration they would like to see in ThinkSpider. So if you have guys any ideas, please feel free to leave them under some post in PitchGround Facebook group, and Norbert and Alex and their team will look into it and see if it's possible. Is that right?
Maybe even better, we built up a page for that. I will post the link later in the thread, where you can post your integration requests directly into our voting system. And you can also vote for integrations. You will see exactly which integrations we are currently working on and when they get released. So you can also sign up to get informed when we release a new integration. Currently, we're building out around about 4 to 8 integrations per month, something like that. So every week there is at least one new integration, but we try to speed that up a bit, so we even can achieve more in the next few weeks. But just vote on the desired integrations, and we will work on them. List what you want to have, and we will do it.
Before we'll move on, we have a question from Mario, and right now it's the best time to ask.
Sure.
Mario is asking, so what gave you the balls to go into the Zapier and Integromat space? The reason I ask is, how do you plan to survive in this space?
We have already customers, as said, mostly in the e-commerce world. The reason why we did not use this great tool like Zapier. Zapier really is cool, and also Integromat. These are great, really great tools. But in the e-commerce world, these tools are simply too less. Their feature set is simply too less. We have very, very strong and powerful integrations with a lot of features for e-commerce, and the customers really choose us because of that. Opening the tool for the web apps is just a side effect of the strong core system that we have. So surviving is not the question, because we have the customer base. It's more about the growth.
Yes.
Can we compete with Zapier? Yes, we can. We don't have so many integrations yet, of course, but they will come. And compete. Well, we have other use cases, maybe. So there's another way to build automations. People might like our way more, and other people might like Zapier more, but both are
I
great
see.
tools.
Some people wear Adidas, some
Yeah,
people wear Nike, some people wear Reebok. So yeah, let's create the
absolutely.
industry a little
Yeah,
bigger.
yeah, absolutely. So there are other use cases, and for us, it's more to jump into that app market now, because we are in the e-market or e-commerce market already, and to jump into the app market was just the next logical step.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thanks a lot for answering.
Sure. Let us talk a bit why automation matters. This is why all you guys are here, to see why that even matters. Well, I just compare it with some kind of hourly rates. So when you have employees in your company, or you have your own hourly rates, in Europe here, the typical hourly salary of an employee is $20 per hour, which covers the salary, which covers the costs of the desk, which covers some social activities, and if the employee might be ill or is on vacation. So it covers that, and when you calculate it down, the diameter is $20 per hour. So when it comes to e-commerce or any other tasks, if you have 10 orders per day, you can calculate 5 minutes for copy pasting the order to the fulfillment, to your ERP software, to whatever. So 5 minutes is nothing to fulfill something, to copy paste something. And when you do this the whole day, 10 orders, the whole month, so 10 orders multiplied with the 5 minutes, with 30 days, you have 1,500 minutes of copy pasting, which means 25 hours just doing Control C, Control V, or Apple C, Apple V, I think, something like that. So just copy pasting data by data, which means it will cost you $500 per month just to copy paste. And
That's
this
crazy.
is for products, this is for customer data, this is for orders. And this is something that you really can save money with, because our entry plan typically, and I'm just talking about the entry plan today because the lifetime deal will be something entirely different, of course. But if you would purchase SyncSpider now right away, you would start at $29 per month to cover this. So you can compare something like this to save around about $500 and $450 per month just by introducing some automation.
Yes.
And this is just one use case. So there are several use cases where automation is interesting for. Here you see some of the integrations that we already built. So we cover things like ActiveCampaign, Amazon, BigMaker, Customerly, Facebook, Freshdesk, Freshservice, Gist. So some tools that you already mentioned in the threads that was posted the past few weeks.
Yes.
We started to build them right away when people started to ask, and you see what we achieved in this short time period. So we have even Musand, which was, I think, a week ago. Someone posted that Musand would be cool, and Musand is here already.
We have a question from Shabab, and Shabab is
Sure.
asking, is it focused only on marketplaces?
No, absolutely not. No, on marketplaces is one of the things that we cover, but the goal is to have any kind of web application that has an API connected to the software. So it's one part is marketplaces and e-commerce, but um, the most bigger part definitely are web applications.
And the good part is that, guys, as Norbert mentioned before, they have page specified exactly for this, where you can suggest integrations. So you see the list here with ActiveCampaign, Amazon, Big Marker, and so on. And if you need some tool to be there, you can just suggest it, and then people will be voting whether it be implemented or not.
Absolutely. So why automation really matters? So it's not just that it is convenient and saves you money, but you also avoid human error, which is one thing that can really matter your company if you do manual imports to software, or if you do manual copy pasting. A human error is something that is done quite quickly. I even see that a lot when we see some repetitive tasks that an employee needs to do, that there can be quickly an error. And with something that synchronizes data, error is being avoided really, really good. It's also about speed. So you get things done faster. You can focus on what is more important for your company. If you are a web store owner, or if you are an online marketer, it doesn't matter. If you don't need to copy paste, or if you have your data there where it should be at the time where it should be, you can focus on other things that makes your business better. And especially when it comes to e-commerce, it's no overselling anymore. So when you list on several outlets, and you have just a small stock, the risk to oversell and get a bad reputation is huge. So if you can simply avoid that by just keeping your data synchronized frequently, then you save a lot of bad reputations, and of course angry customers.
Norbert,
And
we have one very e-commerce related question from Yusuf, and he's asking, can we change the content of the products in this tool?
the content, yes. So although the content management itself, no, we don't want to be a ERP software or a data management software. We take data from A and send it to B, and update data, of course. But you need to have a tool to maintain the data. What you can do is you can, of course, use the feedback tool to give that specific request. I know that we had that request in the past already, and I even did the analysis for it, so it might come in the future as well, because it's an interesting part to have the data also stored in SyncSpider. It will be some kind of data hub that we will build, where you can locally store the data that you send,
I see.
manipulate
Okay.
the data, and send it further.
All
But
right.
it's on the longer roadmap. It's not something that we do in the next 3 or 4 months.
Before we'll move on, there are two more questions. One
Sure.
is regarding the pricing. If we can share a little bit more about pricing. I'm sorry, but not yet. But stay tuned. We will be sharing it in upcoming days. And the second question is, I'm going to be quoting because I don't. This is way too technical for me. And so Norbert, please, if you could answer in just few sentences, and we'll move on. So the question is, do you have logic for sort of like IFFT question mark? Can developer extend the features?
We do have filtering as one of the logic elements that we have in the system. So filtering is something that is there. Logic, like if this then that, is on the roadmap. We have a concrete plan to release logic features very soon. We also are about to release search and replace features, so that you can really manipulate the sent data on the fly. We
Yes.
have already things like calculations, where you can do some simple math calculations with elements. You
Okay.
can combine fields, you can concatenate fields, and this is something that is really being huge extended in the very near future. We are already working on a lot of logic things because it's highly requested. But the first step for us was to have a really stable core and start to implement web apps one by one, because the core features can be then extended
Absolutely.
by the core team, and we can onboard developers who are just doing integrations, and we did that already. We have new integration specialists that are planned to do just integrations and nothing else. So
Amazing. All right, guys, I see that you are already in comments typing some tools you would like to be integrated. Paperform, please integrate Odus too. And you can all suggest these tools in the page we will share in the upcoming days, where you can post every idea you have on integration. All right, Norbert, I think we can move on, and I will be just reading more questions.
Sure. Well, it saves you time, because time is money, and we have, of course, use cases prepared where you can start using SyncSpider. So you could, first of all, automate things like send leads to a CRM. So there might be different source tools where you get leads from. It is Facebook leads, for instance, Google Sheets. When you do some scraping and you send the scraping data already to Google Sheets, you also can connect the Google Sheet with our tool and send it straight away to your CRM. There is Plow.io, there is Fresh Sales, there is Gist, there is Sales Flare that is on the run. Active Campaign also have a CRM. You can get the leads also from tools like Involve Me, or better known as it was on Lifetime Deal, Brand Quiz. It's now Involve Me, or Viral Loops. A lot of your of the audience might have the Viral Loops lifetime deals. Yeah, so you can already attach them, grab the leads, and send it towards to your CRM. So this is one use case that we cover. Send contacts from e-commerce to newsletter software. So you might have a web shop, and you have a newsletter tool like MailChimp, Active Campaign, or the recent Lifetime Deal, Moosend. A lot of you might have that as well. So just sending data there will free up your time. Send orders to fulfillment. So some of you might have a Shopify store, or are selling on Amazon or on Rakuten, or whatever you're selling, wherever you're selling, and you might have a shipping provider. And our tool can help you to send the data to the shipping provider. This is some of those integrations we really did that quite often so far, because all of those shipping providers, or most of them, allow you to send CSV files. One of our most important modules that we have on SyncSpider is the CSV module. We will change the name to file module, because it's not only CSV. You can generate a CSV file, Excel files, TXT files, or even XML files, or Google Sheet. You can store it on local. You can store it on FTP servers, SFTP servers. So you can connect any kind of external file storage to just send that data on a frequent basis. And this is perfect to integrate with fulfillment partners, or even with drop shippers, because they mostly give you CSV files or Excel files or some kind of database to import it to your e-commerce outlet. And this is done fully on autopilot for you as soon as you configure that once. You can send products to marketplaces. We covered that already, keeping them updated. Or what we also had is exchange tickets. So we have clients here that have a ticketing software like Freshdesk, and for the IT departments, they use something like Freshservice, which is an IT help desk, or they use Navision, or some Microsoft CRM that is local. And we built out processes where they really exchange tickets and keep them in sync on all the different systems, so everybody knows where they are on. And this is also a use case that saves a lot of time. Fill up WordPress. So we have a very deep WordPress integration where we not only are able to fill the regular post type, so posts and blog posts, pages and blog posts. With SyncSpider, you can fill every single custom post type as well. And I have a very, very interesting use case from one client. They have built a store search. So there is a store search plugin, which is in the website, where they list all the stores that they have. And those stores are administered in their ERP software. So they have all the stores there. They are over 600 stores. And they don't want to type them in and update and maintain it in WordPress. So we just connected our WordPress integration with this custom post type. We connected, on the other hand, the ERP software, and now everything is updated frequently. So every time they change something locally in the ERP, SyncSpider automatically transfers the data to WordPress in a custom post type. This is something that I don't know if a lot of other tools could even do. So it's really something special, and we even cover meter fields. So it's quite specific to WordPress how those meter fields work, but we even found a way to cover all those meter fields. So even for WooCommerce, you don't just fill up WooCommerce. You can even fill up plugins that use meter fields. So nearly every plugin and fields that are generated by the plugins are visible and can be mapped.
Yes.
So you save a lot of time with that.
All right. Okay, go on.
Yeah. One last, I think, it leads to email execution. So tools like Lemlist or other mass email providers are also connected. So you can send, let's say, your Facebook leads directly to Lemlist and start off the marketing automation the other day.
All right. We have a couple more questions.
Sure.
So we have 4 more questions. First is from Erwin. And he's asking, will there be integration with shipping like ShipStation, Shipping Easy, and / stamps.com?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Another question from Somia is, are there trigger features?
Yep.
All right, amazing. Can you answer it in a little bit more detail? What exactly like trigger?
No. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Let me answer that. Sorry.
So what I wanted to add perhaps here, and sorry to jump in.
Yeah, Alex, please go ahead.
Yeah, so we were talking about perhaps I'm going back too much back, but it's not only about saving time, limiting human error, but this, when you mention triggers, it's also a very important thing. But because if you want to do everything by yourself or just doing it, you're going to be late. It's going to be weekend. One day you're going to be off or something like that. While with SyncSpider, you know that you have an extra hand 24/7. So basically, you can just automate some tasks, set a time when you want them to be executed. Is it going to be right away or not right away? So everything is just a stream flow without the need of you waiting to do some copy pasting or as Norbert said, or anything similar. So it's like 24/7 helper as well, not just for a couple of hours.
Absolutely. And let me come back to the trigger features. So currently we have a scheduler for all the items or the tools that are connected, and for those items that that also send us web hooks or events when something happens, we also have the event triggers. So which means if you, let's say, update something in Customerly, which sends an event, we will execute the task and send the data right away after the event came in. And this is definitely something we are still even getting more and more different kind of triggers. So one of the things that we are, or that the developer, the core team is currently working on in the backgrounds, is to even allow users to trigger other tasks after the execution of a specific task. So you can create a task to, let's say, send data from Facebook to Google spreadsheet, and after the data is sent, you also trigger the LEM list to send out the email automation, just as an example.
I see.
Yeah.
So you can create some pretty complex chains of integrations and
Yes.
pretty much do everything on autopilot. All right,
Yes.
let's answer more questions, because guys, thanks a lot. Keep it coming. You're asking a lot of questions. That's amazing. So if you have any more questions, just keep commenting. And we have a question from Yusuf. Yusuf is asking, can it track price of the competitors?
No. No, currently not. So we don't have that pricing comparison implemented. It's also a feature that is requested already, so it might be found on our roadmap. Just vote it up or add it newly. It is something that we can look into, but it's not. So SyncSpider is not a tool for e-commerce research. It's more for really automating tasks. But this is something that a lot of customers ask from the e-commerce world, of course, and we are looking into implementing something like this. But it's also the longer roadmap.
Of course. Okay, thanks a lot. Another question from Shahab, and he's asking, can we integrate with custom CRM?
Absolutely. You're very welcome. We have several ways how you could do this. Way number one is that you attach to our universal API. It's really universal, so you just need to learn very small specific things, how to send data, how to update, how to delete, and so you need to see that. It's very short, but all the entities and all the attributes can be generated by yourself. It's really easy. It's a REST API. The second way to integrate with us is to build a CSV-based template. So you are also able to create your own CSV templates. Those templates can be public for everyone on SyncSpider. The templates can also be just restricted to your company or to your company and client accounts. So if you are a CRM owner and you have your own clients, you can integrate once. You can share the integration with your clients only and let them administrate all the target systems from just one single tool.
Okay.
And maybe just one thing to add here, when it comes to integrations, we might do some more techy webinar if you want. We do have, I think we are the only one who also has a local Windows software for SyncSpider. So we have SyncSpider Local, which can be installed on any Windows machine, any Windows server, and it can be connected to any Windows database or any external database like MySQL database or whatever you have. And then you can grab data directly from the database. You can even do joins and build out the structure from the Windows. Then the data is sent to SyncSpider via our own API. So this is connected via the API that I just explained. And you can use it in any tool. So a perfect use case for this is we have one client that has, as I said, several help desks, and not only that we're exchanging the tickets there with the help desks, we also send the contacts from his local Active Campaign, Microsoft Active Campaign installation on the local server. We're sending contacts to the help desks. So they maintain all the contact data in their used environment, what they do on daily basis anyway, and they don't need to take care that those people are also created as new contacts or updated contacts in their ticketing software. So they are always on the latest status. And this
Amazing.
works in real time. Yeah.
All right, I really like the thing what you said about that SyncSpider can run on the local computer, on the local Windows computer. So guys, if you like a separate webinar about this specific topic, just comment Windows under this video, and we will look into it. If there is if people will want it, we will look into it, of course. So more questions. So Jarek is asking, for example, I have not implemented Infusionsoft here. However, I see custom API module. Can I use this for adding my own module?
Absolutely. We highly appreciate that. Add your modules.
Really cool. Diane is asking, great. Any LMS integrations such as Lifter LMS?
LNS.
I'm not familiar with that, so I would need a bit more explanation for this, please.
Yeah, so Diane, can you please just let us know in the chat, and we'll look into it after. Okay, another question from Alex. I see some integration with German services like Idealo and Geishals. Will you integrate another price comparison services?
So we are all working, those comparison services are quite easy to integrate because they work mostly with CSV files or TXT files or XML files. And we are currently planning a release of all those pricing portals, the most common ones. We have a list of around about 500 of those pricing portals. And I think around about 100 or even 150 of them, except the CSV files, those will be integrated really fast. So you can expect that in the next 2 or 3 weeks that there is a huge comparison push for comparison.
Okay, 3 more questions from Steven. If an app creator provides an API, is it possible to integrate them on your platform? In brackets, are there any other limitations? If an app isn't currently integrated, is it possible for a user to do manually through your site using a multi-step process, API to API? Thanks.
So you mean that there is a web app already that you want to use, and you would like to integrate it with SyncSpider yourself by some kind of user interface without coding. If this is the use case, unfortunately, this is not yet available. We have already discussed it internally. Our CTO Costa is already analyzing a process to have some kind of API to API analyzer that allows a more easy and faster way to integrate, but it's really just in the analyzing processes. We don't know if this is possible. It was the same case for our universal API because we also was not sure at the first days if it's even possible to have such an universal API as we have, and we built it out. It is there and it works really like charm. You can use that, of course, but you still need to host the code for that integration on your own servers. But please get in touch directly with me. Your use case is really very interesting for us, and we would like to hear what you would need to fulfill that so we can build it out, because it is really something that is from very high interest for us.
Yeah, so Steven, you can get in touch with Norbert. I think I tagged him in the live video, or you can find him in the latest post in PitchGround. So just add him into friends and you can tell
Let's chat.
Let's chat. All right. Brian is mentioning Windows. Will there be a Mac client in the future?
I expected that question. I don't know. Really, I don't know. What there will be. This is the very far roadmap. But I discussed it today with a very e-commerce specialist here from Austria. Next week we are on the e-commerce convention in conference in Austria. This is the biggest and leading e-commerce conference. Jacob, I think you will join us there, right?
Oh yeah, I'm joining you guys there.
Cool. We will.
By the way, for everybody who is watching, you need to join us as well on, I think it's 10th of October.
Yeah.
So 8 days from now we'll go live from Vienna, no Zoom. We'll just go live, face to face, old school tactics. So it's gonna be fun.
I'm really worried about it because we have an exhibition stance there, and we are also nominated for the best e-commerce tool 2019. So
that's impressive.
It will be huge. But to come back to your question, so what I discussed with him is it would be cool to have a smartphone app, yeah, where you just create a picture of the product you would like to add into your web shop. You type in the name, you type in the description, you add a price, you add the stock, and you just click send and have that connected to your web shop. I know that there are tools specific for exactly that use case for specific web shops, but if we have a SyncSpider app for that, we can send data from the smartphone wherever you need it. And this is something that we discussed today. So it came from the question regarding Apple. So it will be then, of course, available even for iOS. But this will be our first touch with Apple. So I think there might be something like that for Apple, but I cannot promise it because it's really the first time Apple came up as question.
All right. Just a few really simple questions are coming in from Jarek. Can we join beta and provide feedback? So for everybody, we'll be creating this post as usual for people who want to join beta testing. So you are more than welcome to participate in the post, and we will give you like access to this platform before anybody else. So stay tuned in the group. All right, and Dian is elaborating on his LMS, and LMS means Learning Management System, such as Lifter, LMS, or LearnDash, for example.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Let me do a bit of research on how this integration could work. Please post the tools you want to have on our platform for the requested integrations. And I will do a research on it and check out how an integration could work, what benefits users can have from that, and we will looking into it and try to integrate the most important ones during the deal phase.
Great question coming from Mandar. Is webhook available?
Yep. Webhooks are available. We are, it's not yet in the live system. We have it in the development environment. It's already completely tested. And it should be released to live in the next, before the deal at least. So before the 14th, it will be live because it was one of the most requested features. It was really heavily tested, and it's a huge module to come. So it's not yet in the beta.
I love it. I love it. I always love when we're working with the companies who are like in more mature states. That they already have the customers, they already have feedback. So it's built on a great foundation from the day one we launched. So it's really cool. All right, Norbert, one last question I see here so far from Yusuf. Your specific, do you have a specific Facebook group available?
Not yet. We will create it with the deal. So our users are mostly currently used to send an email or grab the phone. And so we will create a Facebook pro group for SyncSpider. We will invite you and we will be engaged there, and we will answer your questions, help you out wherever you are.
The first place where you guys will find out about the group will be, of course, PitchGround Facebook group.
Definitely.
So stay tuned there.
Yeah.
All right. So far, I don't see any more questions here. So I think we can move on. This was quite unexpected Q&A session, but Norbert, you'll be slowly showing us how everything works, right?
Yeah, I will show you quickly. It should just be a quick overview about the tool we have. In general, we will have a webinar where we fully focus on the product and give a demo and show everything. But you should see at least how it looks like, and you see one use case, and I will show it off for you this moment now. So. SyncSpider has the option that if you are an agency or if you are an CMS or ERP provider, you serve clients, that you can connect all your client accounts into one, and you can switch through all your clients here. So these are not all SyncSpider clients. These are just the clients of our agency, and that we serve with some services. Then you have also projects. So every client can have projects. So you can easily sort out your tasks. This is the main screen that you always see. So within the screen, you search a specific task of that product. Let's say I want to do something for Amazon. Then I have all the Amazon tasks here. I can jump into that task. I see which connections I use for that specific task. I can enable and disable them, see the logs, duplicate the task for further uses, or delete it. And what I want to do now just is to show off. I want to create a new task here that I want to connect from Facebook leads and send it to a CSV file. So on the first step, I see all the integrations that I have used already, that is already integrated. I just could click them and use them. You see also here Facebook leads is already there. Let me see, here are the new integrations. So if I want to add a new integration, I just go here and search. I need to, let's say, have MailChimp, or I want to have Facebook. Then I just click on the module. I give it a name, Facebook 2, just name it like that. And if you are already connected to SyncSpider, then you can click that button right away. Otherwise, you have to agree to allow us access as one step, and then you just continue, and you have all the pages that you support, and you connect them, and click on next and allow access, and we are syncing up with Facebook, and that's all. You are integrated with SyncSpider, and you finish the task. Now this integration is here, it's on the top, and I just choose it as the first integration, and it's pre-selected already. Currently we can read leads from Facebook, and we can go to the next step where we pick the target integration. In this case, I want to send the data to a local CSV file. I could also choose Google Sheets. I could choose any of those integrations below. I could choose any of the existing ones, but I just, for example, it's the CSV file that I'm using here. So CSV. And then we can do some configuration of the source. In this case, I'm asked to select the page that I have a lead form where I would like to get the leads. In this case, I would get it from Monoband. And I need to choose the lead form. In this case, I take the website leads form here. Then I go to the next step, which is the filter. So I can define if I would like to get all the leads from that form, or if I would like to only get the leads created after the last import. So this is perfect if you're sending data always and frequently to your CRM. I will picking all leads now because it's new. And then I can configure the destination, which is my CSV file. So first of all, I can give it a name. Let's give it, this is our Facebook leads CSV. I could now upload a sample file, which has the structure already that I would like to have, or that my target system needs to have. So I can import it, or I can build up every column myself. So I just add a few columns here. Let's say I need to have the name, I need to have the email, I would like to have a phone number, and maybe the ID that is interesting. You can even define specifics, like for the phone number, you might want to have numbers. So you just choose numbers here, but you're going into details. So this is covered in other webinars, all the types and values that you can add here. It's really, really huge. Let me get to the heart of SyncSpider. This is the mapping screen. Now, on the left hand, you see all the fields, and excuse please that these are in German language, because my Facebook account is in German language, so I also get the form fields from Facebook as German values. You will see them in your native language. It's really relied to the Facebook account that is connected. So you see all the fields that are available for a Facebook lead that are connected. And on the target side, this is here, you will see all the fields that you created for your CSV, or the fields that are connected to your CRM or whatever you use, or newsletter provider. All the available fields that we see via API are visible here. And all you need to do is grab those fields, put it here, and you can add a fallback value. So if the field is empty, you could add something like false or whatever you want. This is just an additional thing you need not fill it. Is just an option you have. By the way, if you don't like to have too much bling bling around, you can enable the focus mode to just have the mapping screen, because the most important part of the tool. So let me add the email. Let me add the phone number. You just map it, and that's it. And we have an ID. We don't have an ID here. Okay, so I'm mapping the this one here, so it doesn't matter. You can also, let's unmap this. So if you have more fields, like for Amazon, there can be easily 100 or 150 fields in that screen. You can easily ask SyncSpider to just show you unmapped attributes, mapped attributes, or only required attributes, so that you really can focus on what you're currently doing. And you also have a real-time search on both. So let's say I want to find the ID and the target. I just type ID and I just have that here. And I want to map this with this one. I just begin to type. It's sorted down on the fly, and you really have an easy way to map this. So even if you have a lot of fields, you can work really, really fast. You can preview values. You can refresh the destination or the source. So especially when it comes to e-commerce, it can happen that you add a new attribute to your e-commerce store and you don't see it in the mapping screen. Then you can just refresh the schema and we grab the new fields that you recently added. We can give the task a name on the fly. So this one might be called Facebook leads to CSV. And we continue to the last step. You can describe your use case. So getting leads from Facebook and send it to my CSV and any other blah blah that you might need for a better overview in the dashboard. Then you can choose the trigger. In this case, we just have a scheduler. Facebook doesn't give us an event at the moment when a new lead is there, so we have a scheduler. But we are already working on the event from Facebook, so that you would have scheduler and event. Event means that as soon as the lead comes in, we send it. But let's do a scheduler. We want to repeat it hourly, every hour, every 0 minute of the hour, but we might also do that every 15 minutes by just duplicating this entry and say, okay, I also want it every 15 minutes. I also want to have it every 30 minutes, and and also, so remove that one. I did the wrong duplicate, and every 45 minutes. So you have now a 15 minutes schedule for this task, sending the data. And as soon as we have the event, you just choose event, and then we're sending right away. Then you activate the task, so it can start running. I will remove the schedule entirely because I don't want my leads to be sent to CSV every 15 minutes. And you can choose email notifications. So you might want to be interested when you have a task succeeded. Then you can choose from the people that are in your account here and just add them as email recipients. And you also might want to be informed if a task fails for a reason. And you choose also the people that are getting an email when the task fails.
This is Zapier on steroids, man. It's really cool.
Thank you so much. Highly appreciate it. And then you're finished. You click on the save button and you're back to the dashboard where you see already Facebook leads to CSV. We show the icons here that you know exactly what you did. One thing that is also possible, you can add several targets. You can not only set Facebook to CSV, you can have in the same task different additional tools that you want to sync with. So you can add your CRM, your LAM list, whatever, and then it's presented with several icons here.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's just a small use case, and all you need to do now is simply hit start, and the task is being executed, and you see exactly what's happening. So we have imported from Facebook. It's finished. We have validated the data. We transferred it to CSV. We processed one-of-one items, and here is the link to the file, and you can open up and download the file. Or this file is something you can post to your pricing portal or whatever to grab the data from. And this is it. If you have FTP connected, we store the data on your FTP. If you have our Windows software installed and you're using Windows, we store the file directly on your Windows machine into the folder that you specified, so you don't even need to download it.
So just like that, you saved like $500 for a company per month just for copy pasting.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, this is really impressive, Norbert and Alex.
Cool.
You guys
Thank
are
you so
doing
much.
a great job.
And also
Thank you so
perhaps earned some additional money you wouldn't earn if it wasn't done correctly or in time. So that's
true.
A win-win-win situation for everyone. Yeah,
exactly. All right, two more questions. One is from Zamrin. Mautic and ActiveChat are available?
ActiveChat is currently built, and Mautic is also on the list and planned already. So just let me show that to you. Syncspider.feedbeer.com. We will add our own domain, something like feedback.syncspider.com or whatever. So this is the tool. You can always access it, and you have here our integrations roadmap. Just switch here to integration requests. And then you type in the app name that you would like to see, something like Mautic integration. Let me just start that, Mautic integration. Please wait a bit. You see if we found some similar posts like Mautic. We found it already, so it's planned. And all you need to do is click on that small up icon here. Sign up with one of your preferred accounts, and we will inform you as soon as the status of this app changes. So as soon as we put it under development, you will get an email notification. As soon as we have done it, you will also get an email notification and can start using it right away. If you want to comment on specific integrations, you can also do that by clicking on it. And please add your desired features. So please give us a bit of a use case, what you want to see. If you don't see it here already, that there is no additional information, you can use the discussion mode to give us more insights about what you want to see, upload screenshots, upload specific needs, and we will try to cover them.
All right, amazing. We have two more questions, quite techie questions. One is from Mandar. At feedback, after naming any task, is it possible to highlight for created? I'm not really sure if you understand the question.
I don't got it, no. You mean the person who created the task?
I'm not really sure. So Mandar, please feel free to reach out to Norbert. You can find him in the post. I tagged him in the live video. So just add him into friends and ask him in the chat. So he will get back to you. But right now we don't quite understand what you mean. Anyway, another question from Erwin is: can you have the option to append to the existing file or create a new CSV file each time with a timestamp identifier in the name?
Absolutely. So this is really needed quite often. So you can choose how we process the CSV file. So in this case, I have chosen a local file. So just let me go to the that one. So in this file, in this case, we have chosen a local file that is static and that should be always overwritten. But in the initial setup, you can choose even, so if you have an FTP or SFTP, you can choose that we create a file with a timestamp, and you even can define the pattern, how the timestamp should look like. And for CSV especially, or in general, all file-based types. When it is a source, so when the CSV or the file-based type is a source, you can even choose that we rename the source file after we processed it. We can even move it to other folders. We can add a timestamp. We can even delete it. So there is really the file-based thing is one of the hugest we really have. It's so really time saving what you can do, even manipulating files. So from Excel to CSV or from CSV to CSV, where you just test some files and change the structure, and you need to do it frequently, especially when it comes to reporting or drop shipping. This is so often needed, and with ThinkSpider, it's really it's a one-time click through and never worry about that again.
All right. Okay, I see a question from Jarek. Jarek is asking, do you allow file creation at the end of the process? For example, contract in PDF format after filling up all fields?
Unfortunately not.
All right.
But it's something that you can put here. Not in the integrations, please, just as feedback and ideas. Integrations is really just for integrations. Put it here to feedback and ideas. It's an interesting use case. Why not? So I could imagine that people might need this. And if we have enough votes for that, it's really something that we might consider.
I really like, Norbert and Alex, that you're listening to your users and that you're not doing it everything based on what you think is best, but you actually let your users and customers speak, which is super important.
Yeah, this is what we really live. We love that, and we live from what people want us to do, and this is the behavior of the whole company. We try to make it really their thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the number one thing for growth to move further is to be with your users, with your customers.
Exactly. All right, question from Brian. Can ThinkSpider replace Segment?
It's another use case. Segment is collecting the data directly from your website, as far as I understand, with some kind of JavaScript, normalizing the data and sending it to the tools you use for marketing. It's another use case. So we don't have a plugin for websites where we do some analysis. What I could imagine is that we have maybe some kind of integration to Segment as to just give you more tools where you could sync to. So put Segment, please, on the integrations here. It would be an interesting use case. I don't see us even as a competitor, because Segment is really an entire. It's more analytics than.
I see. I understand.
But it's cool, great tool. I love it.
All right, Norbert, Alex, is there anything else you would like to share to our audience?
No. Well, there's too much we would like to show, but
but we will cover it, right, in the next.
We will cover it. We have a few more webinars, and we now should answer a few questions on the chats, and we're happy to do so. So thank you very much.
I mean, we've been doing it like answering questions pretty much all the time. So guys, if you have any questions, keep it coming. Meanwhile, before you will think out about your questions, please go to thinkspider.pitchground.com, and you can register for next webinars. Today was integration basics, getting started with integration and automation. And on October 4th, we will be talking about how to automate tedious customer support tasks. So if you are in a customer support, or if you are running customer support team, or if you have a customer support team in your business, you should join definitely on October 4th. Then October 7th, put your e-commerce business on autopilot. So we'll be talking about automating dropshipping, but not only that, like regular stores as well. So if you're in e-com, this day is exactly for you. Then Facebook ads, get the most of your lead generation of Facebook ads with integrations. So we'll be showing some specific use cases, how exactly you can use SyncSpider in lead generation Facebook ads. So make sure you will join on October 8th. Now, October 10th will be fun because I'll be traveling to Vienna to meet SyncSpider team on e-commerce conference. So I'll be there and we'll be talking live directly from the conference. I haven't done it since SEO Tester Online when I traveled to Sicily. So make sure you will join. This will be really cool. This will be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And of course, October 14th is the big day. It's a launch day. So we'll be launching on October 14th. I see a lot of you are asking about pricing. So stay tuned. We will release, reveal the price like on October 14th. So we will know exactly how much it will cost. So that's about it, guys. This was amazing.
Thank you all.
Yeah, it was real fun. Thank you so much for listening. I'm really, really happy to be here at PitchGround, and you have a great audience. You are actually a great audience. Thank you very much, and I'm happy to have a few more webinars together with you.
Thank you, guys. Pleasure being here.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Norbert. Thank you, Alex. And for everybody who's still watching, thanks a lot for staying here with us. It was a really cool webinar. I love all the questions, and make sure you will join on other webinars as well. Once again, it's syncspider.pitchground.com. Just register and we'll send you notification every time when we will go live, and you can join us on Zoom or on Facebook. So that's about it right now, and I will see you in the next days.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.